There's a strange moment that happens quietly. Not during a crisis, not after failure, not when something breaks. It happens during normal days, when nothing feels wrong, but nothing feels right either. Life is moving, days are full, routines are stable, and somehow that's exactly when things slip the most. People assume loss comes with warning signs, with alarms, with chaos. But most of the time, it doesn't. Most of the time, life drifts while everything still looks functional. Morning routines stay the same. Work gets done. Messages get answered. Bills get paid. On the surface, nothing is falling apart. And because of that, nothing gets questioned. People wait for a clear reason to change, a clear breakdown, a clear moment that proves something is wrong. But clarity rarely arrives like that. Instead, it shows up as a quiet discomfort people learn to ignore. That feeling when the day ends and it feels unfinished, not bad, just empty. So they distract themselves. They scroll. They plan. They tell themselves they'll think about it later. Later feels responsible. Later feels mature. Later feels safe. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and nothing dramatic happens, which becomes the problem. Because when nothing dramatic happens, the same patterns stay protected, the same habits, the same compromises, the same explanations. People start saying things like, "This is just how life is. This is normal. This is what adulthood feels like." And maybe that's true, but normal doesn't mean intentional. Most people aren't choosing their lives, they're maintaining them. They wake up inside routines they once built for survival, not growth. Routines that helped them cope at one point. Routines that made sense back then. And now those same routines quietly limit them. Not aggressively, not obviously, just enough to keep things familiar. Familiar feels comforting, even when it feels small. People often confuse stability with alignment. They look similar from the outside: a steady schedule, predictable days, controlled risk. But alignment feels different internally. Alignment feels honest, and honesty is uncomfortable. Because honesty requires noticing things that don't fit anymore. The job that doesn't challenge you, but doesn't hurt either. The relationship that isn't broken, just quiet. The goals that exist more as ideas than actions. None of these scream for attention, so they get postponed. People tell themselves they're waiting for the right time, more energy, more clarity, more confidence. But waiting slowly becomes a lifestyle. This is where the pattern settles in. Avoidance doesn't always look like fear. Sometimes it looks like patience. Comfort doesn't always look like laziness. Sometimes it looks like being realistic. Delay doesn't always feel wrong. It feels reasonable. That's why it's so effective. People think change requires motivation. But motivation isn't the issue. Awareness is. Most people don't lack drive. They lack interruption. Nothing interrupts their patterns. So the years pass quietly, not in pain, not in crisis, just unexamined. Then one day, something small happens. Not dramatic, not tragic. Just a moment of noticing. A memory surfaces, an old goal, an old version of themselves. And for a second, there's confusion. Not about what went wrong, but about how much time passed without a clear moment of decision. That's when the realization starts forming. Not loudly, not emotionally, just clearly. Life didn't collapse, it drifted. No one took it away. No one sabotaged it. It was handed over slowly, in exchange for comfort, predictability, and avoidance of discomfort. And the most unsettling part It didn't feel like a mistake while it was happening. It felt normal. That's what makes this pattern difficult to notice. There's no villain, no obvious failure, just a long sequence of unchallenged days. People assume awareness leads to action immediately. It doesn't. Awareness often just sits there first, uncomfortable, quiet, unresolved. And that's okay, because this isn't about fixing anything. It's about seeing clearly, seeing how time responds to attention, seeing how routines shape identity, seeing how easily life continues without permission. The truth is, time doesn't stop. It doesn't slow down when people feel unsure. It doesn't wait for readiness. It just keeps moving. And most people don't notice what they're trading until years have already passed. Not because they were careless, not because they didn't care, but because nothing ever forced them to stop and look. This realization doesn't demand action. It doesn't offer answers. It just leaves a question hanging quietly. If life can drift this easily, what else has been happening without being noticed? And that thought tends to stay.